This is a third stimulus check update. We have new details when it comes to timeline with passing the stimulus package with the third $1,400 stimulus check. I'll play you a clip and let you know the latest timeline details. When it comes to eligibility for the third stimulus check, there's different numbers being thrown around for income thresholds. It could be $75,000, $60,000, or $50,000. I'll let you know the latest of what has been said so far. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. I hope you're having a great day so far. If you appreciate these fact-based, fast-paced updates, then hit the like button down below. A new poll just came out saying 80% of Americans support $1,400 stimulus checks, including most Republicans. Now, personally, I don't think it matters if you're Republican or Democrat. If you're a civilian and you're struggling financially, you just want to feed your family. You're not worried about any political association or where the money is coming from. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. It's the Senate Republicans who are against stimulus checks, but also making $174,000 a year. I think it'd be a little different if they were making less and struggling like the rest of Americans. Personally, I'm an independent, so I like to focus on policy as opposed to politicians and parties. That's just my opinion. Moving on. Janet Yellen, who is the new Treasury Secretary, basically the new Steve Mnuchin, said yesterday that the U.S. could reach full employment next year if Congress passes new Biden's the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, saying if we don't pass it right away, then it could take up to 2025 before we get to pre-pandemic levels in terms of unemployment. She also said in yesterday's interview that Americans earning $60,000 or less should get the stimulus checks, and saying anything over than $60,000 up to $75,000 as it was before is too high. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. There's a lot of different income threshold numbers being thrown around. Some are saying as low as $50,000 income threshold to get the third $1,400 stimulus check. Someone like Bernie Sanders, though, is saying that that's absurd, what the Democrats are thinking, and saying that it should stay at the $75,000 income threshold mark. Here's Bernie Sanders talking about that now.
One idea being floated in the Senate, included by some Democrats, is to phase out checks for individuals making more than $50,000 a year. You called that proposal unbelievable and said, quote, in other words, working class people who got checks from Trump would not get them from Biden. Brilliant. Obviously, you're being sarcastic there. It's clear you don't support it. You heard Janet Yellen earlier in the show. She said, obviously, she thinks that somebody who makes $60,000 a year should be getting these relief checks, but she wasn't willing to commit to $75,000. Where do you think the cutoff should be?
Well, I think what we have done in the past and what we have promised the American people, we've said two things in the last month. We said we're going to get you $2,000, and that's $600 plus $1,400. And what we're going to do is say that everybody, a single person, individual, $75,000 or lower, and a couple of $150,000 or lower will be eligible for that full $2,000, $600 plus $1,400. Now, when people said we don't want rich people to get that benefit, I understand that. I agree. And what we need to do is have a strong cliff so it doesn't kind of spill over to people making $300,000. And that's what I support, and that's what I think most people understand. But to say to a worker in Vermont or California or any place else that if you're making, $52,000 a year, you are too rich to get this help, the full benefit, I think that that's absurd. And it's also, from a political point of view, a little bit absurd that you would have under Trump these folks getting the benefit, but under Biden, who is fighting hard for the working class of this country, they would not get that full benefit. So I think from a policy point of view, we've got to do the right thing, and that's $75,000 and $150,000 for a couple. From a political point of view, it is absurd to be telling working class people, somebody who has a decent union job, they're making $55,000, $60,000, sorry, you're not eligible for the program. Makes no sense to me at all, nor do I think it makes sense to the American people.
Bernie Sanders saying that it should stay at $75,000, basically going off the campaign promise of President Biden saying everybody gets the check. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Should it stay at $75,000 or go lower? I'm really curious about your thoughts. Moving on to timeline of the stimulus package, we have new details now. So the House is aiming to pass the COVID relief bill within 2 weeks, according to Nancy Pelosi. So the details here is that Friday morning, this past Friday morning, the budget resolution passed in the House, and then in the afternoon it passed in the Senate. Now you may be wondering, why is everything keep saying it's passing, but nothing is happening? Basically because of this process here. I'm going to go over this in a moment. First, I'm going to play you the clip of Nancy Pelosi, then I'll talk about the exact timeline of when we could expect to get the stimulus check. Here's that clip of Nancy Pelosi talking about timeline.
On Monday, we will begin working on the specifics of the bills. Hopefully, in a 2-week period of time, we'll send something over to the Senate. Right now, we have been focused like a laser on getting this done. This is about crushing the virus. It's about honoring our heroes, our people who worked to get this done. It's about putting money in the pockets of the American people. In a matter of less than 2 weeks, I hope, but around that time, we hope to be able to put vaccines in people's arms, money in people's pockets, children safely in schools, and workers in their jobs. The president was his usual values-based, knowledge-informed, and strategic thinking in his presentation. It was a joy to hear his commitment to meeting the needs of the American people, open as we all are to bipartisanship, but nonetheless interested in getting results as soon as we can in the best possible way. And our hope would be that we would have bipartisanship. I think that having reconciliation bill is necessary so that we know that we will guarantee that we'll have results and hopefully give us some leverage with the Republicans. I hope that we can work together.
Nancy Pelosi saying that she is going to go through with the reconciliation process with or without Republican support, and saying that it could pass within 2 weeks, but why so long? Why is it taking so long to pass this when they could just pass it right now? The reason why is this right here, this flowchart. I'm going to break this down for you. Nobody really knows about the reconciliation process because it's a rare thing. So the reason why it's taken so long is because of this. Let me break it down for you, and then I'll give you the details of timeline in a calendar of when we could expect it to actually pass. So when we first heard about reconciliation, that's this part right here. They're starting the reconciliation process. Then there was a vote in the House and the Senate. Since the majority is run by the Democrats in both House and Senate, it passed. This was the first time when it got voted in the Senate where Kamala Harris wasn't the tiebreaker, where it just passed unanimous because one of the Republicans was not present. Then it went to Budget Conference Committee. Then there was another vote on Friday in the House and the Senate. This time around with the Senate, Kamala Harris was the tiebreaker, right? So we had these two votes so far with the full House and full Senate, full House, full Senate. Now Nancy Pelosi talking about the committees being formed. We're at this stage right here. So it's not a single committee, it's multiple committees, and now they're going to talk it out, they're going to write out all the details. Then it's going to be compiled into one single bill and then be presented to the Budget Committee. And then this is the big vote right here, the full House and full Senate vote, and they're saying this is when within 2 weeks we could get to this point, and then if within 2 weeks this passes in the House and the Senate, that's when the stimulus package completely passes and we could get our stimulus checks, assuming President Biden is going to sign it, which he already said he will. Now in terms of the actual dates and timeline, currently I'm filming this on February 8th, Monday, right? So purple means that the House and Senate are in session. Red means just the Senate is in session. Blue just means the House is in session. So we have this week. Next week, of course, House and Senate going on vacation for President's Week. And then the following week, we're going to have the House and Senate come in. Now, the big thing here is that the impeachment trials are supposed to start tomorrow, which takes away time from the Senate in order to have anything passed. But it's okay because the House is the one who is doing all the work for now within the next 2 weeks in terms of committees, writing the bill, and getting all the details ironed out. So that brings us, if we're going to see something happen, that means they would have to do work on their vacation in terms of committees. Assuming they do, we could see something pass as early as the 23rd, February 23rd, in terms of that passing in the House. And then since Senate is in session for the rest of February, then they could pass something as well. So we could see at the end of February something pass, assuming everything goes according to plan with the committees. And this will be without any Republican support whatsoever. So let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Is this going to be different this time around because the Democrats are in full control? If we were in like the first or second stimulus check negotiations, the reason why it took so long is because the Republicans wanted it really low, Democrats wanted really high, and they both had to agree on it. Now that the Democrats have the reconciliation process going, they could do whatever they want and pass it through. So it looks like, I think that we could see it before the end of February, and then which means stimulus checks could happen before the income cliff or the benefits cliff of March 15th. But let me know your thoughts on that. Here is Cory Booker also talking about the process of this and when we could actually see stimulus checks.
Joining me now is Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. Senator, I'm so happy for you to make your debut on the Cross Connection. Thanks for making time for us on a Saturday. So I do want to ask you about this COVID relief bill, because this is a huge issue, as you know, for many Americans across the country who are struggling. So the bill has not been signed. I mean, this is now where you get to the nitty gritty, as they say. This is where you write the legislation. So we're standing at the edge of a cliff here. You know, the next unemployment cliff is March 14th. There's people whose cabinets are bare. They're out of work. Some of the jobless have been out of work for more than 6 months. What are the next steps, and how soon can American people expect that $1,400 check to hit their account?
Yeah, this is a debate simply over policy. These are real people's lives who are hanging on the balance. 30 million Americans who don't know necessarily where their next meal is going to come from. We're seeing unemployment claims for over 40 weeks now, Americans who have lost their job, who are in crisis. And more than that, we have an economy that is overall facing its worst realities since the wind down from World War II. We are in the greatest economic crisis of our lifetimes, most of us, and we need to answer it with a big bill, a big response. And so that's what the debate was until 5:30 in the morning. Now we're going to work to get the short strokes of this done. And I think the President of the United States is 100% right. All those folks who are willing to blow, Republican colleagues of mine, blow $1 trillion holes in our national deficit for a tax cut that went to and these are annual deficits that went to the wealthiest amongst us and our corporations, now can't suddenly cry that we can't afford a one-time $1.9 trillion rescue package for our economy, for the millions of Americans that are suffering, that most economists on both sides of the aisle are saying would have a stimulative effect to our country's economy. So we're going to work really hard. We have an impeachment trial to get through, but we're going to work really hard to get this done and get relief to the American people as quickly as possible.
Let me know your thoughts on what Cory Booker was saying. It seems that this part of the reconciliation process is the most lengthy part of it, which could take up to 2 weeks to have the committees consult with each other, but hopefully it'll be a lot faster. I'll keep you updated. Subscribe to the channel if you want to know the latest updates with that. Also, Cory Booker reintroduces a bill to give newborns $1,000 savings accounts. This isn't part of the stimulus package though. Moving on, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Linda Fenton asks, still no $600 stimulus. How do I find if it was issued? Worried I may have tossed it out like junk mail. Yeah, a lot of people made that mistake. You could go to the Get My Payment tool and see if it was mailed to you, and then that could be the way that you find if it was sent to you or not, if it had a mail date. Also, Charity Ashworth asks, What about the $200 a month increase for people on Social Security? Still nothing yet. Still on his website, still a campaign promise, but completely silent from President Biden as well as all the other politicians. Really strange. Also, if you want me to answer any questions that you have, let me know down in the comments below. Just type the word question and then ask your question. Tanya Newman asks, any more talk on $2,000 a month stimulus? Nothing lately. It seems that it was just progressive Democrats who could be 50 to 100 members in support of the $2,000 stimulus check per month, but it's not gaining any traction with any other Democrats or any other politicians in Congress. Next question. Jenny Sparks asks, what about when Biden was campaigning and promised $15,000 for first-time home buyers? Any news on that? Nothing yet. That is not part of the stimulus package, and he hasn't mentioned anything about that. Personally, that would help because we're in the process of trying to look for a home to buy, and prices are really expensive now because of the low interest rates. The prices have gone up so much, so that would really help us out too, but nothing yet. And then Gianna Logan asks, is $1,400 for an adult, or is that including the dependent, or they get something else? So it would be $1,400 for the adult, and then for any child dependents, it would be $600 per dependent. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To cheer you up a bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I tell you the one thing they should do. When you make something dirty, you have to clean it up, or ask someone to help you. Like, if you made something really dirty, you have to clean it up.
And if there was any goal that you wanted to accomplish, I created this book right here. It's the 50-Day Success Journal. I self-published it myself. It's going to help you achieve any goal you have within 50 days. If you want a free copy of this, just contact me down in the description below via my Facebook page or Instagram. Basically, if you purchase it, I will reimburse you. I just want to get feedback and trying to get as many people to see this book as possible, use it, and this way I could correct anything and make it better in the future. So if you want this for free, I'll have the details down in the description below. And if you want to learn more about goals, 5 ways to achieve goals, click this video over here. It's on my Wise Vibes channel, and it'll help you achieve any goals that you wanted to accomplish for 2021. So click that video now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.